refreshes. I know this.
That's okay.
It always does this. I've noticed. I've learned to deal with it.
Gotta persevere. Cool.
Does.
Yay.
Yep, I see stream will be starting soon. All right, looks like we are live. Welcome everyone to the 32nd episode of Goddess Spotlight with Liaserenityrose. I'm your host, Leah, and of course I am here with my guests of honor today, Team Starlight.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi. Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
It's an honor to be here.
Aw. Absolutely. All right, so let's get started with this Q&A, shall we?
I'm ready.
Sure.
Let's get down to business. I'm so amped. Sorry.
Tell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, you're all good.
One too many M&Ms, Sora?
You know it.
All right. Here's my first question for you. How did you guys become VTubers and content creators? Like, tell us your backstory.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's like 3 different backstories, I think, isn't it?
Right.
That's 3 different backstories. Yeah. Who's brave enough to go first, I wonder?
Well, I'm over here. I can start if you'd like.
Go
Do
for
it
it.
to it.
All right. My name's Trixie Velvet, everybody. Nice to meet you. I got my first start on VTubing thanks to this little blue hedgehog right over here.
I'm blue.
Yeah, I got my start thanks to seeing them. And they weren't a blue hedgehog before. They actually were something else, but I'll let them tell you if they feel like saying it. But I was so inspired. I said, you know what? This is something I want to do. And I jumped into it. I had a few friends that actually helped me at the time and helped me get my start. And I found a wondrous world full of different people, things I can try, things I'd never tried before. And it just kind of developed into that. And pretty soon, the person I was inspired by was actually came and found me. And we kind of started a friendship from there. And we started doing creation stuff together, and we just kind of hit it off really well. And pretty soon, we ran into Shino. And Shino was a fan of both me and Sora. And we became friends through our content creation. And that's
Facts.
kind of like how I got my start with all of them and my VTuber start. And that's putting it very simplified. So, but yeah, that's my start.
You go next, Sora.
Okay. Yes. All right. So, years ago, I was wandering through the deserts of Mobius. Okay, and I was like, I was dying. I was thirsty, hungry, lost, and I just looked up into the sky, and I was like, there has to be more to life than dying in a desert. How did I even end up here? This doesn't make any sense. And then I woke up. It was a dream. I was like, oh snap. And you know what? I was like, I need to tell people my story. I need to share this with everybody. So I was on the internets and I was just looking around and I started discovering, VTubers and stuff like that. And I thought that was really creative, a way of expressing yourself. So and in fact, way back in like 2013 to 2015, I was actually a flesh cammer. That's slang for, in real life, on camera, streaming games and stuff on Twitch. But I found it very frustrating because anytime I wanted to go live, I'd be like, well, dang, how do I look? Is my hair clean? Do I need to shave? Do I do I need to do this or that? Do I need to rearrange my face? Right. So I was like, man, what a hassle that is. And then, but again, so I did. So anyway, I found VTubers, years later, and I was like, that's really amazing, and that would, be really fun to do because, I find when you're streaming, right, it's about finding a character for yourself, not like to pretend that you're somebody else, but to have a way of just present, because it's a lot of it is about presentation, right, in my opinion. So being able to be a character and speak through an animated one, I thought was really, really good pathway to do that. And so I started out with a VTuber model, actually, that was a human kimono mimi type. That what that means is like a human with cat ears and tail, which is a popular art style in Japan. That's where the kimono mimi kind of comes from. So anyway, it was a human with a dog kind of, characteristic. So because I like dogs. Yes, woof woof, woof woof. So yes, and so anyway, it if it was fun, it was cute. It didn't really, but it wasn't like I found myself not really satisfied with that. And then I had really gotten into the Sonic community at that point, and I've always been in the Sonic community, but I didn't really participate much in the community. So I said to myself, I'm like, what am I doing with my life? What is wrong with me? I need to get my crap together and just do what I love, Sonic, right? So at that point, I had discovered someone called Trixie Velvet next to me, and they were doing VTubing as a Sonic host. So, I'm like, oh my God, that's brilliant. That combines all the things that I want to do and things. Awesome. So I had a new model made, and soon, I after a couple months, Sora VTuber model 1.0 was born. Okay, and it was very bare bones, but it had a lot of charm to it, and people immediately started to really love this blue hedgehog that I had become, and it was really, really exciting. And then I from there I made connections with Trixie and other people out there in the community, started to grow and grow, and then I got a second model update, and then here I am with my third. This is the third edition of Sora Starlight. So anyway, it was a kind of a wacky journey. I started with my webcam. I then discovered VTubing, and I had to kind of find my character. It's like you find yourself in real life, through a lot of different journeys and stuff. And I feel like there was a parallel there. As corny and kind of silly as it is, but finding your voice, finding your shtick, finding your personality is really important, because when people come to see you, they want to see, something that they can identify with as well. And I find that I was able to find something that everyone could relate to, and not just myself, but everybody. And the rest is history at this point. And now I'm with these two sillies next to me. And we formed Team Starlight about I don't know, 7-8 months, about 7 months ago, I think.
Yeah.
Give or take. It was back in October we formed Team Starlight, and we made a vow to each other. They made a vow their mother will be, no, that's another thing. We made a vow to each. What's that?
We actually established it on my birthday, October 4th.
Hey, you're right. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Well, technically, I will, and I'm right at the end here, I promise. But me and Shino actually met up in New York City, and we had a talk at Rockefeller Center, and I laid out a plan to Shino, and Shino and I looked each other in the eyes, and we kissed. No, I'm joking. Well, we did.
I don't remember that part of the story.
No, I'm always trying to make it weird. I'm sorry. So, but no, what we did, we locked in on each other. We laid out the plan, and she was like, "Yes, this can work." And then we worked together with Trixie to make it all happen. And here we are, Team Starlight. We are a bunny, a hedgie, and a wolf. And yeah, good times.
Wow.
I guess now I gotta try to tell my story as quick as I can.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Let's see. So how did I get into VTubing? So, I originally started out. What a lot of people may or may not know about me. I'm actually I'm actually a Twitch TV veteran. I was actually around during the Justin TV days, but I went under a different name and I promoted different content, wrestling of all things. I ran fantasy wrestling leagues back in the day, but that's when I was young, dumb, and stupid. But
Oh goodness.
but I love wrestling, but I was just a different person back then. But anyways, I wasn't really part of a very wholesome community. It was actually, unfortunately, at some point it started getting really toxic, and I just couldn't handle it anymore. And I just decided, that's it. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. But I still had a passion for streaming, and I still wanted to grow and become and do something that was like meaningful, that would put smiles on people's faces, because I've always believed my entire life that I was born to be an entertainer in some way, shape, or form. And streaming, Twitch gave me that platform. And it's like, I don't want to just give up my purpose in life. And this right now is what's allowing me to live that purpose. So I was like, you know what? I have an OC that I made in Sonic Forces named Shino. I am going to make him my channel mascot. I'm going to rebrand myself, and I am going to go in a completely different direction and grow and get better. And so in 2019, I started my first stream as Shino the Wolf, and originally I was a cam streamer. I wore a blue wig with wolf ears, and I had a green screen and all that. But I had my character, who looks completely different than how he looks now, in my background. He was kind of like this edgy looking guy, blue wolf with lightning patterns and a black jacket, because he was kind of ripped off from Forces. But then eventually he got redesigned a couple times, and then eventually he became the wolf, the static superstar that you guys see today. So what got me into the VTubing, though, was I've always seen it. I've always seen like Shy Lily, Cinder, Victoria the Sun Eater, people like that doing this V thing called VTubing. And I was so inspired. I'm like, oh my God, to have an animated character of myself and to be able to use that to express myself as a content creator, that's what I want to do. But how am I going to get to that point? And then one day, a couple years ago, I was going through a really rough patch in my life, and I randomly somehow on Twitch came across Trixie's channel, and she had a Sonic OC VTuber, which was a Panuki before she became a bunny. And I was so awe-inspired at how cool this model was, and also how amazing and comfy of a streamer that she was. And then at some point during those streams, Sora popped in there a couple times, and I got to see Sora for the very first time. And I was just so awe-inspired. Next thing you know, I was invited to become friends with them, with a community of other Sonic OC VTubers. I'm like, oh my God, there's so many of them. What is this craziness? And then eventually, down the line, and then I was a PNG tuber at the time that I met them, and then with a little help from my my audience, my friends, and a big chunk of help from Sora over here, I was able to get this VTuber model, and then the rest is history. We through our journeys together, we've helped each other grow, and we've become stronger, and we've become best friends now. And that's how I got into VTubing. And honestly, where I am now in my streaming career as a VTuber with these two lovely people and this amazing community, I am the happiest that I have ever been in my entire life. And I'm so thankful for it.
Aww.
So there's a common thread, Trixie. We all found Trixie is the point.
We found
Yeah.
And we were like, you know what? We want some of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got it.
Yeah, you could say that, like, you could say, like, fate brought all three of you together,
Mhm.
Yeah.
In
I would
100%.
say
form.
absolutely.
Oh, that's so adorable. I always love hearing everyone's backstories, because everyone has a different thing to say, but the connection here is so real that I could already feel it. Because I know
I can
Aw.
taste it. I can taste and smell it.
Yeah, we really do care about one another a lot. So if something happens between one of us, at the end of the day, we are friends. So it's
100%.
Mhm.
we want to make sure the other one
We're
is
there.
fine, we're supported. You go on, Chino.
We're there for each other. We love each other. We're, like, the three of us have become a family through all the trials and tribulation, the good and the bad that we've been through. And I absolutely love these two, and I would take a bullet for them.
Oh,
Oh, jeez. I mean, a bullet. How do I meet that expectation? I would take a laser for you. Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. How about you, Trixie? What would you take?
I'm gonna take the sandwich and enjoy it.
What?
No.
I didn't know a sandwich was in play. If I knew a sandwich was in play. Oh, all right.
But seriously, I would actually be supportive of both of you and do whatever I could to make sure you were both safe.
The point is, would you die for us?
Mm. Why
Would
does
you die
that
for-
have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Would it matter if I said if you were in a burning building, would I actually try and save you? Yes. So
See, there you go. That's perfect.
okay.
You heard it
Aw.
here. Trixie would go into a flaming building. A flaming building.
all right. Ooh, okay. The next question is I also have this same question along with Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Yo.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
My first one is how did you come up with your usernames and character designs? And that's also a question I have for you as well.
Okay. Do you want me to start again, or do any of you want to
Yeah,
start?
I think that's
Yeah,
good.
that's a good order. Yeah, you Sora than me. Yeah, that works.
Okay. Well, originally I started off as a red panda and slash tanuki, so it came out as a panuki. If you've heard that word already, I was decked out in different colors at the time, but I realized as time went on, I really liked my hair down instead of up into like ponytails. As a VTuber. And I started thinking, well, why don't I go back to my original plans, which was actually trying to become a bunny, because I was like, no, there are plenty of bunnies running around as VTubers right now. And the more I got to think about it, I was just like, well, I want to be something that can actually represent who I am and have that long hair feeling and that twin tail feeling. And I said the ears. The ears would actually be perfect for that. And the colors. I love the colors yellow, blue, and pink. And that actually turned out really well for my character. And it was thanks to these two that actually helped me get to where peak design was for me, as they say. Their words, not mine.
Design.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's how I kind of came to be, was just based on trial and error. You may not get it the first time, but as the more you learn, you start to find what you really want, and you start to enjoy it even more. So, yeah, that's how I kind of came to be where I am right now.
Aww.
It's precious. Yeah. So as far as me, like, so how did I find my character design? Right. That's the first part.
Yeah, your pen name and character
Oh,
design.
username and character
Ah.
design. Gotcha.
Okay. I didn't
So-
mention that.
Oh, go ahead. Why don't you jump on that? Yeah.
How did you come
Yeah.
up with Trixie Velvet?
I actually took a few days to figure out my name, and someone actually told me, if you didn't go by that one name I know you by, I would just know you as a Trixie. I'm like, okay, I think I could work with that. And eventually Velvet, I was trying to think of something for like Red Panda, and Velvet was kind of like the color red. And I was like, yeah, I'll go for Trixie Velvet. And then I found out through Sora, I was just like, oh, you mean like the Velveteen Bunny? And I'm like,
Yep.
okay, looks like it's sticking.
Yeah, I think I was just like Velveteen. Oh, like the Velveteen Bunny. Yeah, that's a Christmas special thing. I've seen it. Someone dies.
So yeah, that I kind of stuck with Trixie Velvet, and it's been my name ever since. So, and this was before Sora mentioned that. But yeah,
True.
Sora, you scare people.
Well, I just keep people on the edge of their seats.
Mhm.
You never know what I'm gonna say. Chaos. Okay, so all right, okay. So my character design came first before the name, right? So actually, Sora, this is the second design of Sora, right? This was the redesign version of me. Actually, there was the first version of me was a adopt that I bought from the amazing artist on Twitter. They're Toga Kiss.
Oh.
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
They Toga Kisser. Sorry, that was close. Toga Kisser. So they're wonderful artists, and they were doing a lot of adopts at the time. They don't do them as often anymore, but they pop up every once in a while. But anyway, they put a tweet out where they said, "Yeah, I feel like drawing a blue hedgehog adopt." We'll post later, and so I kept like F5ing and refreshing their Twitter like for hours, and I was just like, I had their notifications on because something told me I need to be ready for this. So they posted it, and I messaged the Toga Kisser within 30 seconds and said, "Yes, please." And they're like, and they replied with like exclamation points, like because they were like, "Oh my god, I just posted it." No,
They were not expecting it at all.
But I just jumped on it because what I saw was this unique hedgehog design with roller skates that had the star emblem from Sonic on him or on them, it just and with the headphones and everything and the skates, and it's just I've never seen a design like that, so I just had to have it. So from there, I started to plan out the name of everything, and now I'm a big fan of Digimon.
Ooh.
So Digimon, one of my favorite character is Sora Takenouchi, who is the chosen child or Digidestined, with the pink bird Piomon, which I always really enjoyed in the original series. I'm sure there's some Digimon fans out there. Yeah, I see it. I love Digimon. Yeah,
the girl with the helmet. There you go.
Yes. So I was like, you know what? I really want to go with Sora. It feels good. It's cute. It's simple. And then I was like, but I need something a little more punch to it. And then I just figured out Starlight. Yeah. All right. Sora Starlight, the Hedgehog. So I ended up going with that. And then, I presented Sora to the world. I adopted Sora on, let me see. It was October 5th, 2021. So I've had the character since then. And I think it was about 2 years in, that's when I did the redesign to what you see now. Pretty much the same, but I changed the back of my hair to be more like Sora from Digimon, with the hair kind of, curled up and kind of coming out spiky.
Mhm.
And then, I kept the twin tails. I just changed them to be more sticking outward. And then the last thing I'll point out about the character design, because it's important to me, is the hair ties for my twin tails are Sakura Kinomoto's from Cardcaptor Sakura. She ties her hair with the same beads. So I like to incorporate different things from the things I loved growing up. So yeah, that's Sora was an adopt, and I'm very, very thankful for Toga Kisser's an amazing artist, and gosh, I was just so happy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, my turn, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Shino the Wolf, the name actually came up around the same time that I was designing my OC. So a long-time Sonic fan since the 90s. I've always tried to design an OC since back when I was late elementary, early middle school, but I never was able to design an OC for myself to represent me. I did make this Echidna one time, but I didn't really like the design, and that lasted like probably a couple weeks. But but one day, Sonic Forces had come out, and I was like, oh my god, you could create your own Sonic character in this. This is actually really cool. And then I saw that one of the designs was a wolf, and wolves, by the way, are my favorite animal. They are some of the most majestic and beautiful creatures I have ever seen on this planet. I'm like, I can make a Sonic character that's a wolf? No freaking way. That's insane. And so I started incorporating an idea for a design that what I wanted to do. So I love blues, midnight blue to light blues, especially like the darker blues. Like I really love the color blue. I mean, clearly, look at me. So I started incorporating this design until I made the original version of what my character looked like, where he had like a white muzzle, midnight blue fur. He had like the lightning scar on his eye, like every other edgy edgelord character wanted to be. I had the black leather jacket and the gloves and the shoes. It's gonna go for that like Michael Jackson bad feel to it, but more Sonic-y. So I was like, well, he needs a name. I got to come up with a real name, but I wanted to come up with something unique that no one had ever heard before. And I didn't want to just call him anything. So I literally, I'm a huge fan of Japanese anime and Japanese culture and everything. And so I'm just searching and searching and searching, and I'm having such a hard time picking a name. And then I saw it right there, Shino, just right there in front of me. I'm like, this is it. Like it spoke to me, and so I adopted the name Shino the Wolf. I'm like, that's him, Shino the Wolf. That is what I'm calling myself from this point forward. And then eventually after my rebranding of my channel and everything to Shino, I went from the edgy bad boy, riding the motorcycles, bad attitude superhero type of deal. I got out of that phase, and then I got my first redesign, which instead of wearing black, Shino wore white, and he carried around a shield, kind of like Captain America a little bit. And so instead of being the a bad boy, he went to being known as the Shield of South Island. He was a protector. He was a wandering protector that went around protecting people with his shield. But even then, with all of that, I really wasn't satisfied. I'm like, this is cool and all. I like the idea of having a character that's a superhero, but it didn't feel right. Something was off. I was like, it needed to be more me. And, due to some life changes that happened, I was like, you know what? Shino needs another redesign. I need a new design that's much more me and is going to take me into the new era and the new chapter of my life. And so I eventually met the wonderful Michi, who also goes by Michi_Blue. And she ended up becoming my model mama, as I like to call her. She redesigned Shino. I gave her all the references. I gave her everything that I loved. I sent her pictures of me when I used to be on a webcam with a wig and blue ears. I sent her the original Shino designs. I sent her pictures of Michael Jackson, because I am a huge Michael Jackson fan and a Prince fan. I sent her some Michael Jackson pictures, some Prince pictures. I sent her the Green Power Rangers. I'm a huge fan of Tommy the Green Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I just sent her a bunch of references, jacket designs of everything that I ever loved. And I was like, can we turn this into something? I want to go a completely different route. And then she came up with literally the design that is in front of you right now. And I fell absolutely, and of course we went through a couple changes together, and I fell absolutely in love with it. And when it was done and I saw the final result, I'm like, this is it. This is me. This is me. So everything that you are looking at on this outfit is every piece of it is inspired by all the references that I've given to her. I mean, I love music. I love singing. I actually do sing. So that's where the headphones came from. I wear glasses IRL. So I was like, you know what? Popstar can wear glasses. Why the heck not? I'm going to freaking make it work. And I did. And the jacket, very Prince, Michael Jackson inspired. The shoulder cuffs, which of course is very 80s, was also inspired by the Green Ranger shield design a little bit, because I love the pointy edges. The gloves, like just the gloves, the shoes, and everything were just inspired by like the 80s style, and of course the classic Sonic style. And she found a way to incorporate like the blues with the purples and just everything, and it just worked out. And thus here I am, Shino the Wolf. And instead of that white lightning scar on my eye, I wanted to have something that was near my eye that was still representative of my original character, but I wanted to do something that wasn't like what everybody else has. Like, and of course, no offense, if you got scars on your eyes and marks on your eyes, kudos to you guys. Go for it. If it fits you, do it. I just want to do something different. So she's like, well, why don't I put a star on your cheek? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'll make that my birthmark. And so here we go. Here I am. This is how my design came along.
Aw.
Wow.
Sorry if that was long-winded. it's a story.
You're all good. This Q&A is about you three, so you're more than welcome to ramble. It's like I'm literally just like in awe at your guys' answers for this. So it's like I'm just like, this is so interesting learning this stuff.
Oh yeah, the iceberg goes quite deep.
Yeah.
It's very, very intense.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question for you three. How did you come up with the Starlight Winter festival and how it came to be?
Oh, yeah, the Starlight Winter Carnival.
Sora, it's best that you take the reins on this one.
Oh yeah. Okay, so yes, the Starlight Winter Carnival. So to give you kind of a background, at the time, things were a little tough. I was in a rut. Some of us were dealing with a bunch of stuff, and I was trying to find a way to be creative in a new way, and it kind of, I had this overwhelming sense of like, I want to unify the community, and I want to show people the good that the Sonic community has to offer. There's sometimes there's a lot of negative things that get out there in the spotlight a little too much, and people are like, oh, the community is so negative, which I don't really buy into. Yes, there's bad parts of every fandom, right, that could be negative. Mm-hmm. That's a given. It's always going to be there. And yes, negativity and drama will find you no matter what in some capacity, but I feel that as long as you have the right friend group and everything, you will be able to just get up every day, go have fun online, and enjoy the community as it's intended. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to show the good, right, that was in the community. And I was in a rut, like I mentioned, in a way that I'm like, when I go to stream stuff, it's like, there's always this, and I think this applies to a lot of streamers in general, not just VTubers, but finding something to stream is a struggle sometimes. And you're like, I got to find a game. And I said to myself, what if I streamed stuff that wasn't a game? So I there was this challenge, and I was mulling over it. And then I saw some other people out in the community that had put on larger events. And I got kind of inspired by that. So I decided, after I locked myself in a room for a couple days. I didn't eat or drink anything, and I was like, I got to come up with something. And then it came to me, and it was like a little light shined through the crack of the room.
She didn't do things,
no, it did happen. Oh, well, okay, fine. I was in the bathtub crying, okay, with the shower.
You didn't do that either.
I did. Anyway, so suddenly it came to me, the Starlight Winter Carnival. Okay, and I was like, that's amazing, because it's the winter is really fun for festivals and little get-togethers and stuff, and I'm like, that's perfect. Let's do a warm and cozy thing. And I went to Shino and Trixie, and I presented the idea, and I was like, I want you guys to be a part of it, and what we need to do is raise funds for charity. So I went and I reached out to Gamers Outreach. Gamers Outreach is a wonderful charity that works to bring gaming to children in hospitals. And the way they do that is, a kid is stuck in a room in a bed, right? They can't really get up sometimes, depending on what they might be dealing with. And this gets into sad stuff, because when kids are in hospitals, it's obviously not for a good thing. And so what better way than to distract them from that than gaming, right? So the way they do it is they build these go-karts, and it's a so imagine a vertical wheelie cart, right? And normally in hospitals they have those all over the place, and they'll have a computer on it. Well, instead of putting a computer on it, they put a monitor and a gaming console inside of it. So now they have this mobile gaming system with a battery. It runs off a battery and can be plugged in, but it's all self-contained. It works mobile, and they can wheel it into children's room, and they can play whatever games they want, whether Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation, and so on. So I'll be honest, it's no secret at this point. I'm a parent, and so it's very important to me to see kids be happy, and it was near and dear to my heart. And Gamers Outreach agreed. They're like, yeah, we would love for you to work with us to raise money, and we worked out the details, and so we worked together. We partnered with them, and so the three of us, we laid out a schedule. And I'll tell you what, I wanted to go big, right? But it wasn't easy. I spent like the better part of the first month before the carnival reaching out to so many people, small, medium, big influencer type content creators. But I had to make graphics, I had to make invites, I had to come up with the basis for the schedules and the content. Thankfully, Trixie and Shino helped me figure out and iron out the details on a lot of stuff to do. It was a huge help, and I started sending out the invites, and amazingly, people agreed. Yep, I would love to be on. I'd love to be on. Love to be on. And we got some big names that ended up coming on. And I set a goal with these guys for $1,000. Let's raise $1,000 over the next 6 weeks, and that was ambitious in of itself, especially 6 weeks, because I didn't want this to be just a week or 2 week one and done thing. I wanted to give us breathing room to allow us to communicate and network with as many people as possible. And by God, we did it. And we did not miss a single date for that carnival that was scheduled. And it was a huge success. And by the end of it, we didn't just raise 1,000. We blew through 1,000 in the first week.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, big time. Everyone came out in droves of just happy, willing to help, and they enjoyed our company. People said they listened to us on car rides. People would lay down to go to sleep and listen to us, and it helped them find new outlets of de-stressing and everything, and that meant a lot to all three of us, right?
It did.
Yeah.
So it was just, this overwhelming sense of wanting to do good in the community, and to make what we do like mean something. We already know that when we stream under normal circumstances, we're a part of someone's day. We're helping them unwind it maybe at night, and so on and so on. But by doing this large of an event with everything that we did, we're able to reach new audiences that we never did before. And I'm very thankful for everything that has followed thereafter. So
I agree.
Yeah, and then Trixie, Shino, add on if you need to, of course.
I would say, just watching this happen, it was a miracle. I'm going to go ahead and just say it. This is corny. It was a Christmas miracle. This whole thing was a big Christmas miracle. Just watching all of these people come together, meeting new friends, and just watching everybody play games together and talk to each other, and then these bigger names coming onto our show, and just giving away prizes for donation incentives. And we did these amazing quiz shows and music trivias and all of this stuff, all just to help these kids out and to unite the community. And by God, I think we did a really good job with that. And I mean, when you got people like Emsbury, Emmy Jones, Sassy Bunny, and all these other
the Chaotix crew,
wonderful people, all these other wonderful people that just wanted to come on and be a part of this thing, and it helped so much. Auntie Moira was here too, and oh my gosh, like I was so awestruck by the whole thing. Like and just seeing people happy and smiling and enjoying our company and making new friends, and like our lives were forever changed after that. We ended up raising a total of $6,100. That's $6,100 raised for the entire event from everybody, just to make this, just to make someone's wishes come true. This Christmas was just nothing short of amazing. And I've met so many friends, and literally because of that, my life has definitely changed forever. Our lives have definitely changed forever. And we really hope that from what we've done and what we continue to do in the future, that we will continue to put smiles on your faces for the days, weeks, months, maybe years to come.
Something else I would like to add to that, even though it's very brief. We actually invited people over who were not necessarily streamers or anything like that. They were mainly just content creators, and some of them actually got inspired to actually start streaming on their own schedules because they just found it so enjoyable and so engaging that we actually have Emsbury now streaming. And I want to say we had a little bit of part in that, but I think they found the joy in actually streaming. And I'm like, I'm happy we were able to support them in a way to find a new joy in life. And many other people had found joy and connection through our streams and throughout our charity drive, that I felt like it actually reached further than what we previous thought would happen. We didn't just reach out to children, we reached out to people, we reached out to individuals who actually had a change for the better. And that was a miracle on its own to actually inspire, because that's what we do every day, is we try to inspire and engage, and through connection through other people, that you can actually strive for what you want to achieve in life, no matter how difficult it may seem. As long as you have that drive and wanting to try something new, you can make it happen. So I wanted to add that part to it as well.
Amen, sister.
Amen. Hear, hear.
Amen. Yeah. Like that's just so great that you guys like did it for a great cause, because it's really sad when you hear all these stories about these children in the hospital, and and they can't really enjoy their life as a kid, they're just dying there, but you guys did such a great thing for, well, doing it for the community, but at the same time you helped out a charity that for Gamers Outreach, and to be able to give those children joy, at least for the Christmas season, that was very generous of you guys.
Well, we're Sonic fans. We're Sonic OCs.
Yeah.
We're Sonic heroes. Okay, that's a dumb joke. But like what would Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles do if they were in this exact same situation? And you know what, you're right. And Amy, as far as I'm concerned, she's part of the team. What would Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy do? What would they do if they were in the exact same situation as what we went through? I have a feeling that deep down inside, they would have done the exact same thing. So live by example. We're Sonic OC VTubers. We love Sonic the Hedgehog. Why not live by the examples that they set for us?
Yeah, and we're Starlight heroes. We'll put it that way. But I use the heroes loosely, because at the end of the day, we are just we're so humbled by the outpour and of support that we received, and then and now, we're so thankful, and we'll never take it for granted. But yeah, Starlight Heroes has a nice ring to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so inspiring. Like, you guys inspired me. That's why I actually made the announcement that I'm actually doing a spring festival, because I've seen people do it in the summer and winter. I'm like, no one has done it in spring.
That's gonna be cute. Yeah, the spring. That invokes a lot of nice, cute aesthetic. Take advantage of that season, the flowers and everything. That's gonna be wonderful.
Own it and make it yours.
like the thing is, my OC like really represents the spring colors, so it's like I need to put my aesthetic to that, for the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
And
decided to go for that.
and I'd like to say spring is supposed to be a beginning, a new start. If you are trying to do something to help people's lives, it can be a starting point or a rebirth of some sort to begin anew. And that's what spring brings, is new life. So yeah, you got something probably there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, okay. I think I see. I think I did see did see like several questions in the chat actually.
Yeah, they were flying through the chat. And I'm like, oh, I hope somebody's writing these down. Because I wasn't. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Here is the question by RDMC Foxinator.
Foxy.
What made you pick the team names Team Starlight?
Well, actually, so this goes back to when Shino and I were in Rockefeller Center in New York City. We were, talking about the initiative that I mentioned earlier. And we're like, we should try to come up with a name and, that kind of represents, us the best. And so when I got back home and we were on Discord with Trixie and we talked it out, and we tossed around a couple ideas I can't remember, but I think it was just, I mean, I'll say that, Sora is kind of like at the core of our team. So I guess we went with Starlight partly because of that. And just united around it. I mean, reaching for the stars is also a very kind of, not specifically reaching for the stars, but that's a line from Sonic Colors. But the stars is a very common theme in Sonic in general. So, it's I'm not sure. I don't know how, I don't know. I don't know how we necessarily arrive at it, but
Can I say something that kind of
yeah, please. I'm struggling. I don't remember how we quite did
we were
it.
deciding between a few of them, and we kept running into different ideas that just wasn't working. Some people were like, well, why should we use your last name? And I'm just like, well, what are we aiming for? What's our goal? What's our drive? And I came up with one quote I usually live by, and that's shoot for the moon. Even if you miss it, you'll land among the stars. And we started focusing on the main drive of like Sonic. And Sonic is always, I'm going to reach for the stars. And even though they look very far, I'm going to find my own way. And it's just like, yeah, let's go with that. And we just kind of went with,
Team
Team
Starlight.
Starlight.
Team
There it
Starlight.
was. That is very interesting.
Yep, indeed. Yeah, it stars again. It's all through the franchise. It's a common theme for Sonic the Hedgehog. So yeah, kind of it just fit. It fit.
Yeah, like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you. You're the host.
Yeah, like it's very ironic with me because I also have my team name with my two BFFs, Andrew HVA and Doom the Mean Queen. Shout outs to them. It's just very ironic how we didn't really have a team name back in the day, and it was only coined like last year, like in May of last year, and they're like, you know what, let's name it after Leah's OC because Leah was the one who brought us all three of us together. And I'm like, what? I was like, you want to name it after my OC? And they're like, yeah, you brought all three of us together. And I was like, oh.
That's cute.
Well, and that's funny because in a lot of ways, like there's that common thread that I saw Trixie, and that inspired me to become what I am. Same with Shino. So, Trixie brought us together in that sense, and then as far as me, like I came up with a lot of the things for us to unite around, but I've always been very, very clear that when we work together on something, this isn't mine. This is all of ours.
Right.
So whether it's Twinkle Park, I made Twinkle Park, but I'm like, Shino, Trixie, this is yours. This is yours as well. It's not Sora's. You know, the Starlight Winter Carnival, I was very clear. Yes, this is my idea, but this is your guys' baby too. Okay? This doesn't belong to just me. We're doing this together. So, you know, you kind of like same difference. Like you Serenity in the it's Team Serenity, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it's like you brought your group together. So that's really cute. And you know, so you know, Trixie brought us together in her own way, and I brought us together in our own way, in my own way, and then same with Shino has brought us together in his own way. So we've all kind of like united around different things with each other, you know. And I think that's really special. For if you can get a trio of people, like, you know, that is like the magical number. It seems like you get a trio of people, and I think it goes back to like this biblical the Holy Trinity. You know, I don't know, it just always rings right. You know what I mean? Even in Digimon, there was Digimon Tamers, and they had the Trinity attack in one of the movies where they united as three. You know, so once again, Digimon in my life, you know, thinking about those types of influences and stuff like that. But yeah, but you know, three people, a trio, it's always that magical number. I feel that you can always unite together so well together with three people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something I definitely agree with. Like, I never thought I was just like I was just like, you know, just chatting with them, and then, you know, we just grew closer, and and it's because of Sonic Revolution. Shout out to Sonic Revolution. It's how I met them both, and and I was actually in charge of coming up with a skit before the trivia panel for I believe it was like online 2023, I think. And we just did like Sonic and Amy, and I was the one in charge of that, and I asked them how great are you guys at improv, and they're like they're kind of like it depends on the topic. So I'm like, I had to give them some direction on that, so I kind of directed them in some way.
Yeah.
And stuff, and I actually met my two BFFs last year at the Revolution in-person event, so that was magical.
See, yeah, and the people that, you know, had Sonic Revolution, you know, that birthed it into existence, you know, it's kind of like they united all of us to come together for those things to happen. And that's the same concept that I had with the Starlight Winter Carnival, you know. And you know, just to be clear, like when I say this stuff belongs to Trixie and Shino, they were up late with me planning all these things. Like, I can have ideas all day, but sometimes you need other people to help you flesh it out and to give you ideas, like for all the events, like how they helped shape everything. I can't express it enough, you know. So it's not about one single person. Like it sometimes it takes one person with an idea, but then it takes, you know, a town or a village to really bring it together. You know,
it does, yes.
Yeah, there's a town inside of me. Yeah, no, you get it though. But so it sounds like Team Serenity kind of shares in those ideals, and so, but it just shows the power of the Sonic community. Yeah, there's some crazy negativity out there, but nah, just shove it to the side. Find people that are good, unite around each other. That's what you got to do. So
yeah,
that's
exactly. Ooh, okay. I see another question in the chat by Dolius. Hi, Dolius.
Dolius, yo.
Yes.
Dolius, oh boy.
Is there a video game system that you would love to see get recolored with your OC's color scheme? Ooh, that's a great question.
That's a good one. Trixie, you go first.
Goodness. I would have to say either these two have been by my side since I was young, and I still have them as mini versions to this day. Either the Super Nintendo or the Sega Genesis. So I would say one of those should be in my colors. Yes.
Ooh.
Very good.
Nice.
What about you, Sora?
Oh, I would say the old HD graphics, Sega Genesis Model 1. If I could have that recolored in my colors, that would be amazing. Just the sky blue color is just beautiful, and then you accent that with some pink and magenta, and beautiful.
For me, I'm with Trixie. The Sega Genesis, Gen 1 version, of course. There's just the Sega Genesis and a Super Nintendo. Absolutely. If I was to pick a third system, N64.
Oh, yeah, add that to me too. That was my second console.
That's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah, I went Sega Genesis, then I got a Nintendo 64, and then I got a GameCube, and then an Xbox 360.
They never did get that Dreamcast. Wait, did you get the Dreamcast?
I didn't. No.
Oh, no.
Never got
Never
Dreamcast.
got my Dreamcast.
No. As an adult though, I've stepped up my game. But it was a little touch and go there as a kid. Had to rely on the parents. Like, imagine if I got a Nintendo instead of a Sega. Like, oof! I don't know how my life would have been different.
But yeah, any more questions from the chat? Bring it on. I'm ready to go. Well, let's do this. This is fun.
Okay.
Very fun.
Ooh, okay. Here is another one by BAG-Gomez.
Oh, Gomez, yo.
You three obviously enjoy Sonic, but if you each have one other video game series you find particularly resonating, what are they?
Ooh.
Oh my, Trixie, what are you thinking?
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna need to think about this for a second because I have so many I like. Probably I would have to say I do like the Chrono Trigger series a lot.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite games to this day because I just like the narrative. But if it wasn't Sonic and if it wasn't Chrono Trigger, it probably would be Castlevania.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting. Castlevania makes sense. Well, as far as me, if aside from Sonic, there was definitely different games I played growing up. I had the Sega channel. That was a subscription-based downloadable game service. See, Sega was ahead of its time, right? So I would play a lot of like Toe Jam and Earl, Vector Man, Comic Zone, and stuff. But as far as a whole franchise, like in video game wise, like I think the second one would probably be Pokemon. Pokemon had a huge impact on me when I was growing up. So yes, there's a couple big things in my childhood, right? First, it was Sonic, and then it was Power Rangers, and then, well, and Digimon is then the core three. Okay, core three: Power Rangers, Digimon, and Sonic. Those are my core three, right? Mm-hmm. But before Digimon was Pokemon, and I watched Pokemon, and it blew me away because of the animations style, and just like everybody during the original Pokemania back in 1998, I think they started.
Yep.
Here in America, 1996 in Japan, but but Pokemon blew me away. I felt like so connected in a way like I don't understand till this day. Ash, Pikachu. I love Mew, Eevee. When I saw the Pokemon movie in theaters, like I was just like wow, I can't believe how like magical this feels. I've never seen anything like that. So and then after I discovered Digimon, I kind of gravitated to Digimon because I had more storylines and stuff. But anyway, that's another can of worms. Video game wise, it's very much Sonic, Pokemon, and you know, some sprinkled other things, first person shooters like Battlefield series, you know, but yeah, so I digress though. I'll leave it at that.
So Sora has many likes that they're not mentioning, and I think that's probably for the best.
Oh yeah, probably. I'm on the spot. I can't. I'm probably
Wow.
not thinking of all the things. Right now, you would think I would say Digimon video game series in there too, but I'm gonna be honest. Digimon's not great in the video game section. They, you know. And now I will say before people freak out, Digimon story games. Those are good. Those are good on the DS. And then I know Digimon Cyber Sleuth and stuff, those were good. And they've got the new Digimon story game coming out. Thank God, that looks amazing. But anyway, yes, Digimon always kind of struggled and didn't quite... I don't like Digimon World 1 or 2. I'm sorry. World 3, yummy. That's delish. But yes, and then... Oh, but Digimon Rumble Arena. Oh my God. All right, I'm stopping. Okay, Shino!
Just like a child, mentioned Digimon, and she keeps going and going.
Digimon, yeah.
You know what you love. So if we were talking video games specifically, if there's a series that I love, Mega Man X, absolutely. I love Mega Man X to death, especially the first 4 games. I love them wholeheartedly. I am obsessed with them. The 4th game being my absolute favorite, of course, of all of them. I love that story so much. Like I'm just so interested in the story of X being the first robot to think, feel, make his own decisions. He basically has a soul, and then being put against all these tough challenges where he is put into situations where they want him to make these bad decisions and do all this stuff, but he rises above it and becomes stronger and just comes out on top each and every time, even though he is such a pacifist. And it's such a beautiful story. I love the Mega Man X series. Unfortunately, I hate to say that it's gone the direction that it has gone. Unfortunately, with games 6 and 7, but I love it. I do love it. As far as games, I definitely do love Mario. Outside of games, there is one franchise that everybody who knows me knows that I love, and I know that chat can answer it once I say this phrase. If there's something strange in your neighborhood, who are you gonna call? They know the answer.
Yeah.
The gorilla.
Sit down, Sora.
I will say Shino is very, very involved with the Ghostbusters community. I won't say much more than that.
We'll get there.
But I'll leave it there. Okay.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, shout out to Mario. I mean, who doesn't love Mario?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Sonic, Mario, Pokemon, like that's the trio. Holy crap! It's a trinity again.
Well, what about Zelda?
That's good too.
I like how you're like, oh my gosh, she's a trinity. Oh, what about Zelda? Oh, that's good too.
Yeah. I did play Ocarina of Time. That really impacted me too. On the N64. But hey,
she has other Zelda games.
but anyway, good times.
Ooh, okay. I'll ask one of my next questions.
Ooh, please.
Do you guys have advice for people who would also like to become Sonic VTubers themselves?
Nope, fresh out.
You're
okay.
Really?
I will probably help out with this a little bit. Be open. Be open to trying new things. Don't marry yourself just to Sonic. Be open to trying new things because that's what Sonic would do. I would also make sure you're true to yourself when you play your Sonic OC character. It is representing who you are. Also state if you're looking for trying to find someone to work with as a VTuber, make sure you click well. Make sure you are comfortable enough to be yourself, not trying to put on a mask on your mask already. You're already trying to be two different people at that point in time. If you're trying to find someone who is can make models for you, make sure you work well with them. Make sure you understand one another and give each other the respect they deserve. Anything else you two want to add to that?
Oh yeah, Shino, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. If you guys, okay, if being a Sonic OC VTuber is something you guys really want to do and you're 100% set on it, don't be afraid. Just do it. I know I sound like that meme guy. Just do it. If it's something that if you have a dream and you want to attain it, and if it means being a Sonic OC VTuber and that's something that you want to strive for, just do it. Go for it. Just know that when you do this, it's a lot of dedication, a lot of time, and a lot of energy. If this is something that you're really passionate about and this is what you want to do, then put your heart and soul into it. And trust me, it will turn out some great results. It definitely worked for me. It's definitely worked for this team. I just don't be afraid to take risks and just go for it. Just go for it. Also, another thing that I will say, Sora actually taught me this lesson specifically. Don't be afraid.
I can't wait to hear it. What? Sorry.
Don't think so little of your own self-worth. Reach out to people, even if they have, a bigger following or whatever. Reach out. Don't be scared to say hi and let them know what you're about, because you never know. It might work. They may want to get to know you and be a part of your journey. And Sora doing that encouraged me to do the same. And because of that, we got to meet some wonderful friends, both in the high places with big viewerships and those in smaller places with not as much viewerships, who are now getting that now because of being able to hang out with people like that. So, Sora, I've never thanked you for giving me that courage. So thank you.
Aw, well, I appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And I growing up, I was really programmed by people around me to not think very good of myself.
Same.
And I know a lot of us could probably speak to that in our own ways too. And so to hear that, it really means a lot to me. And and the community has really helped me come to terms with who I am and so forth. But no, thank you so much, But to stay on point, as far as like advice for people that want to become a VTuber and all that. So you see us on screen right now, the three of us, right? We did not start like this. We went through a journey. VTubing can be, yes, expensive and a big investment. Is it worth it? Yeah, I would say 1,000% it's worth it.
Oh, yeah.
But you're gonna go through your version 1 and then a version 2, maybe a third, and you're gonna find your footing and what works best for you through that journey. Now, in general, speaking more broadly, you should always be yourself. There's nothing wrong with going on and using a character to express yourself in a way that maybe you wouldn't normally express yourself otherwise without. Sora, my character, my OC, allows me to present myself in a, well, I'll just say it, allows me to present myself in a feminine, cute way that I can't otherwise do. And that means a lot to me. Sora and who I embody through this character does play into my gender identity. Sora is a trans girl at the end of the day, and that's a part of me. Now, do I go on and make that my core identity? I think at one point I did focus a lot on it, but I don't anymore, because I don't think my gender identity should be the focal point, and it's not the core of my of what I'm trying to express every day. Like, it's, you know what I mean? Like, so when I go online, I'm just trying to express myself as openly and fun loving as possible. yes, here's some lure. You know, I put a taco in a microwave. It blew up and made me cute. That's my lure. Okay. I microwaved a taco for 10 minutes. It blew up and I became a blue hedgehog. And that was that's adorable and everything. Right. So it's as simple as that. So anyway, what am I even going on about?
Your lore.
So here's the bottom line. Okay. My advice is, I echo what Shino and Trixie said. Yes, find a character that feels, that you identify with, and you know, I started as a bunny because I was like, nah, I can't be a hedgehog. I don't want to be just a Sonic, you know, like that. But then I ended up as a hedgehog because I was like, no, I want to be not Sonic, but I want to be a hedgehog that I'm familiar with. I grew up with Sonic the Hedgehog. I want to present myself as such, you know, but I put my spin on it, my personality, my influences and everything. So I took parts of Digimon. I took parts of Cardcaptor. I took parts of Amy Rose and, you know, Sonic and everything. And I combined it all into these things that made me into Sora. You know, so just find what feels right inside of your soul. And if it has something to do with your gender identity, cool. Whether you present female or male online, like
Or
run
non-binary
with it.
for my non-binary
Or
friends.
non-binary, non-binary people. Thank you. Yeah, you know, because there's a whole spectrum out there. And I'll be honest, it was scary at first because I'm like, one, I always have that kind of fear, like, well, if somebody in my real life discovers me, how do I explain it? I don't care anymore, honestly. But that's a big step, though. You need to come to terms with if you're going to do what I did. And I'll tell you what, I was also scared at the reaction from the community. And you know, they see a cute hedgehog in the thumbnail. They go on and then they see this. Oh, I'm Sora Starlight. Oh, come on, let's go. And then are they going to be turned off by that? The answer is no. They freaking love it, you know. So
Yes,
I come
they do.
on, and yes, play a character if you want, but be yourself. What I do is I try to play a character to some degree, but it's basically an amplified version of myself. I just don't hold back.
Yes.
It's like, imagine Shadow taking off the inhibitor rings. That's me. I go chaotic, okay, and I say things I shouldn't, or should, for that matter. and you know,
oh man,
you're don't be scared. Just, you're gonna find your footing. It's a journey. It's going to be, yes, a little expensive. If you know, some people, you get a PNG tuber. You know, they're more affordable. That's a starting point. And then save money up for a model like that we have on screen now. You know, there's so many different avenues. So yeah, just find your inner voice and give it thought. How do you want to present yourself? And if anything about what you want to do doesn't feel quite right, then you need to go back to the drawing board and be more honest with yourself. Yep. Because, like, I was originally going to do a male model, and then I was like, no, I want to be freaking cute. Okay? This is important. I want the skirt that goes spinny. Anyway, so that's it in a nutshell.
Oh, yeah, that's great advice. Fun fact here, it took me a long time to figure out to come up with the name of this podcast. If I'm gonna be real honest with you, it's kind of like what you guys have been saying, that like you need to be honest with yourself, like you know, and figure out you know, how you want to present yourself. And like literally coming up with the name for this Q&A series took a long time, like, because I was playing around with my full pen name and I'm like, does it stick? So, and then I'm like, and then I actually got inspired by, you know, the gotta go fast slogan, you know, that Sonic X had, you know, knowingly had made it very well known in the community now. So I'm like, hey, I like that. Like, that's a catchy thing. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to do Gotta Spotlight with Liaserenityrose. And I'm like, this is perfect. It's like, it gets the point across where I'm spotlighting like special guests, content creators,
Yeah.
you know, and I was being honest with myself. It's like, I was like, I want to do professionals and, you know, give content creators and artists like some spotlight. So I'm like, you know, let's make it very vibrant of a name. So I was like, yeah, let's go with this name, and it's stuck ever since.
That's really precious, and a lot of things you can pull from Sonic, and that's okay. Like, you know, you could easily have said "Reach for the Stars," you know, if for a title, or "Gotta Follow My Rainbow." You know, there's so many things within the Sonic community, and just brand Sonic the Hedgehog in general to pull from, and that's a wonderful thing, I think.
Yeah, like, um, and coming up with the logo design for this, what I've been doing, it's pretty phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being honest with myself. I'm like, I do love Sonic, but I want to do something miraculous as well because I'm a huge Miraculous Ladybug fan.
Oh, when you said that, I was thinking,
Ah.
you don't hear people say miraculous
Yeah,
often that aren't fans of that show. I'll tell you. I had a
yeah.
feeling there.
And I actually do a Miraculous Ladybug podcast because I don't see that
Oh,
many out there. And I actually reached out to a very huge community guest in the community who does a lot of video essays for her YouTube channel. She goes by the Cartoon Hotspot, and she has been very phenomenal and honest with her thoughts um and stuff. And it took a while to come up with that name, but I actually asked for her opinion as well, and she's like, oh, it's like, I like Lucky Charm podcast, it sticks. And
oh,
because that's literally Ladybug's power. She uses her lucky charm. That's her special
yes.
power
That's
as
cute.
Ladybug.
Yeah.
So, and then I actually like, you know what? I need to get the aesthetic of the font, you know, just to make it more miraculous looking. Because if I use Sonic font, it's gonna be way off.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
so yeah, that's that's kind of a bit about myself when I
Aw,
when I started doing content.
That's beautiful. Also,
yeah.
I also heard that Lucky Charms are magically delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know people have made that joke because it's like Lucky Charm.
Wow. That
Yeah.
lit everything up. Good job. Now everybody is booing us. Okay. Jeez.
My
You know what's
bad.
funny? I was gonna make a joke, basically the same thing. I was gonna say, like, and plus, if someone doesn't know what miraculous, ugh,
I should have let you just have it. Me.
I just miraculous ladybug is, they'll think, well, maybe it's about the cereal. You know, they'll come and they'll listen anyway.
Yeah.
I'm silly. I'm sorry.
No, you're all
Silly.
good. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into the Sonic franchise?
Ooh, I love this question.
Oh boy.
Snap, crackle, and pop.
Trixie, please.
What got me into the Sonic fandom was I was playing outside with a bunch of the neighboring kids around the 1990s. And eventually a kid named Danny said they play video games, and I told them, well, I play video games too. I play on my Super Nintendo. And they said, a Super Nintendo? I play Sega. And I'm like, what's a Sega?
Wow.
And they said, I'll show you. So I got permission from my mom to go to their house to see what a Sega Genesis was. And when he showed me, the first game he put in was Sonic 2. And I just kind of fell in love when I saw Sonic and Tails, run across the screen. And I'm just like, I like this. And I told my dad, can we get a Sega Genesis? And my dad flat out looked at me with those deep eyes in his head, and he just kind of looked at me and said, we play Nintendo. We don't play Sega Genesis.
We're a
And-
Nintendo house. Okay.
Yeah, so
You're sticking with Mario.
yeah, so my dad was a Mario fanboy. And I kept asking and asking, and my dad kept saying, nope, we're not getting that. Don't even look that way. And my mom, being the sweet person back then that she was, she knew I liked Sonic, and so she introduced me to Sonic through the Archie comics. And I looked forward to every issue every month to see what new adventures Sonic could get into. And eventually, I kind of grew up with Sonic, and I eventually did get Sonic on the GameCube, Sonic 2, and I enjoyed it. And I left the Sonic community for a little bit, and that was all thanks to Sonic Unleashed, believe it or not.
Oh no!
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh.
so and believe it or not, I actually played Sonic Unleashed last night, and it was on a different platform, and I actually like Sonic Unleashed now. So
Yeah, Trixie's introduction to Sonic Unleashed was Sonic Unleashed. I am so sorry you had to go through that.
Unleashed, the Wii version.
But yeah, I've been in, and I got out, and I got back in. About a few years later, when my life got back on stable ground. So that's how I kind of am involved with the Sonic community. So
Yeah.
Mm.
How did you discover Sonic, Sora?
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, okay, so one Christmas morning in 1991, I woke up and I got a Sega Genesis. And inside the Sega Genesis was Sonic the Hedgehog. And I was immediately hooked. I loved how fast he was. I loved the color. I loved everything. I would take the box art and I would trace and draw Sonic all the time and try to like make my own Sonic comics. It just like exploded from there. Like, and then Sonic 2, I remember, waking up and getting that for Christmas, and oh my God. And then, just everything about it was so, I don't know. It was magical. It was so magical. And then before Sonic 2 came out, I went to the store with my mommy, and it was the grocery store. Mummy. And
Mommy.
I was over at the magazines, where the cool kids go. And I saw this issue number 0, Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog was leaping out of a TV, running from Eggman, Robotnik, at the time. And I it was like a chorus of angels, I think, were like playing trumpets above me. And I just lifted it out of the rack like, oh. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then I showed mommy and I was like, can I get this and get this and get this? And she's like, okay. And it was my prized possession. I went to sleep with it. I kept it in my room. I would read it. And then another issue came out the next month. And I was like, what? And then I bought that one. And the next one. And the next one. And so I started collecting all the comics and all the toys. And anywhere I could go to get any Sonic merchandise, I would get it and collect it. And there wasn't a lot of it in the 90s. Let me be very clear.
Yeah.
There was some very odd random stuff. Like you get Sonic Pogs, or he would do a fruit roll-up promotion, or Cookie Crisp cereal, little bowl caddy things. I don't know what they're called. These figures that came with it, or a Cracker Jack. You get a spinner or a ball inside of one of those. It's just like, but you couldn't just go to the toy store and just buy Sonic stuff. Now there were clothes and shoes of Sonic, but you couldn't buy Sonic like figurines and stuff. There was like some stuffed animals that they had a couple at one time when Sonic 2 came out, and I got those for Christmas as well. And but yeah, it always just goes right back to that one Christmas I got Sonic, and the rest is history. There was one point where I kind of fell out because I didn't have a console to play. I didn't get a Dreamcast, unfortunately. My first 3D Sonic game was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube. And now, keep in mind, I grew up on the OGs in the 90s, but I played Sonic Adventure 2 battle, and I loved it. I was just blown away that Sonic was now in this like 3D world, and there was this vocal songs, Escape from the City, Live and Learn, everything.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little frustrated that Tails was in a mecha, and that I had to I can only play so many levels of Sonic, and then you had to play Shadow, Rouge, and Eggman, and so I was a little frustrated with that, but I enjoyed all of it. It was a good experience, and so on. And then 1991 Christmas, that's what that got me in, and it was, oh boy, was it downhill from there. And now I'm a female hedgehog. That'll show Dad not to have faith in me. I sure showed them.
Beautiful.
Good thing, Christina. I'm glad you approve of that. I sure showed them.
No, I wasn't being sarcastic at all.
No, I know.
Not at all. The first time that I saw Sonic the Hedgehog was a TV commercial. It was, I believe it was the president of Sega of America at the time was dressed as a woman, as this president of HAG, also spells hag. Haha, you get the joke. But I remember they showed her on TV, and she was like, everybody's talking about this new Sonic the Hedgehog. What they say he's incredibly fast. What's the hurry, mister? And his attitude. Smarty pants. Meanwhile, there's a cartoon picture of Sonic the Hedgehog, like just giving her dirty looks while the game is being shown. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, she's like, "Why can't he be that like that nice boy Mario?" And then he blows a raspberry at her and runs away as fast as he can. He's like, and then she's like, "Little brat!" And then I just watching that commercial and laughing so hard and loving Sonic's attitude and just the music, hearing the Sega music in the background. I was just like, "Oh my god, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. I want a Sega Genesis." And but it wouldn't be until my birthday, April 14th of 1992, I would be with my entire family at a Chuck E. Cheese's of all places, and that's when I got it put in my lap. Was it 92 or was it 93? I don't remember. But I got a Sega Genesis that came with Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I got to take that box home, and along with that, my parents also surprised me with a TV, an old TV that they used to have. They hooked up a TV in my room with their old VHS player, which used to be our VHS player in the living room. They hooked the Sega Genesis up to that TV, and I spent the rest of my birthday playing Sonic the Hedgehog 2 with my brother until he went into his own room to play Nintendo. Or he went to the living room to play Nintendo. He didn't have a TV yet. He went to the living room to go play Nintendo because he wanted to play Mario. And then I just started playing Sonic 1 for the rest of the night. And ever since then, I was hooked. I was a Sonic fan, and I fell in love with Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's BB Machine, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I was just such a big fan of the classics, and as far as he just stuck with me. Sonic was always there with me. The Sonic Satam series was there. I remember seeing the world premiere of the first episode, and me and my brother being allowed to get up and go downstairs and make our own breakfast and sit in front of the TV to watch it on the weekends while mom and dad slept. I will never forget that. And I would say that I don't think I've ever fallen out of Sonic the Hedgehog. I think I've probably given Sonic a couple breaks, because every time I went through a hard time or I was hurting or I was in pain, I always thought of Sonic. And and of course, Princess Sally, Mia Moore, and the other characters, like they've got me through some tough times. I've always been a Sonic fan, and it was all thanks to a little blue dude with an attitude blowing a raspberry at a hag.
Hey, you know French?
No, but I wish I did.
You said, was that Mia Moore? Yes, I know French.
I know some words, Yeah.
It reminded me of the movie. Sorry.
Yeah, you are so on point, Sora. Like, back in the 90s, it's very rare, but nowadays it's like Sonic merchandise is like everywhere now. Like, you can buy it off of, like, Amazon, you can go to Target, you can go to Walmart. Like, back in the day, it was so scarce. Like,
it really was.
Like, it's just crazy because whenever I see Sonic merchandise, I'm like, I'm not a kid anymore. Darn it! Like,
Well,
I
who
can't
cares?
buy
Buy it anyway.
Oh, well, you know what? I mean, as far as the
Also,
toys
be
go,
more
there's
Spanish.
oh shoot. I obviously I was testing you. Okay, thank you.
Mm.
But yeah, the toys are like that's free game, right? But I'll tell you what, sometimes, well, okay, they make adult Sonic clothes now, right? It's awesome, right?
Mhm.
But sometimes I'll see a really cool design, I'll click on it on Amazon, and it'll say youth or boys or girls, and I'm like, you son of a gun! Like, how I am so robbed, you know?
Yeah,
This
it's
is not
like,
fair.
yeah, exactly. Like that's my point. It's like when you see a nice design on like a kid's t-shirt, and you're like, I'm not a kid anymore.
It's like, no. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically you're like that Darth Vader meme. No.
Yeah, but I can name like all the big things. Like I had the Sega well, I got Sega Visions magazine, and it
Ooh.
had in their catalog for Sega merch and Sonic stuff, and like it was very limited. Like there was, like, I remember these Tiger Electronics headset, radio. There was the RC car back then. But yeah, like that was pretty much it. There's other things, but but yeah, the merch was very limited. It was weird. It's weird. You could get more clothes and bedroom stuff. Like I had a bed set that I think I still have from when I was a kid in like storage somewhere in my house. But they sold a lot of bed set, clothes, shoes. But yeah, toys are a little hard.
Mhm.
At least we had comics though and stuff too.
Yeah.
So it's like we had Sonic stuff. It was just like, I'll put it this way. I was so hard up for merch of Sonic, I cleaned out the Franco-American Sonic and Meatballs can and put it on my shelf after I ate it.
Aw.
I still remember having like a Sonic the Hedgehog backpack, when I was very young.
Oh, I had the lunchbox too.
Yeah.
I had some folders.
Mm.
Yeah, I had Trapper Keeper. That's right. What the fruit was going on in the 90s? We had like everything, but when it came to like making an action figure, that was like bridge too far.
Yeah, you have to go. You have to get the closest thing you were able to get to a Sonic the Hedgehog action figure back in the day was you had to go to McDonald's and get the Sonic 3 Happy Meal, and I did.
Exactly.
It was only until Sonic Adventure 1 when we got like
actual
Sonic merch,
actual figures. Yes.
Yeah.
In those blister packs, that you typically see toys in, and one more shout out. I will say there was this Micro Machines Sonic toy that I had.
From Hot Wheels.
It was Hot Wheels, sorry, but it was Sonic holding rings in both of his hands.
Both his hands on a motorcycle.
On a little red motorcycle. It made no sense, but I was like, okay, cool. I bought it because Sonic, So anyway, good times.
Yeah, it's like it's just crazy now. But do you want to know the one that other than like cool designs on youth clothes? Like, do you know another thing that gets me irritated when it comes to Sonic merchandise? If it's like region only, like a specific region, those are annoying. Like
only available in Europe. What?
Like
I hate that so much. Like. You believe me, it's like you guys know for a fact that we would want that stuff over here. Why aren't you selling it to us?
Yeah.
Sega, come on, man.
In the Sega Europe shop, they do that. Then sometimes there's clothing lines overseas in the UK and whatnot. And it's like, yes, they might have international shipping for that stuff, but it's like not meant for my white American butt. So it gets a little awkward with the sizing, and I have to just hope for the best. But yeah, sometimes we miss out, with the stuff, and yeah. Oh well. At least Sonic is like more broad reaching than ever.
Like for sure. Like there's this like specific chibi brand that I want, but it's only in Japan. And
Sonic and Friends?
Yeah, Sonic and
Love
Friends.
it.
It's only in Japan, but I'm just gonna reveal I am going to Japan this year, so I'm going to.
Congratulations.
Yo, buy it
Yeah.
all, buy it all. That's the only time I got on eBay and I bought a few things of it, Sonic and Friends merch to take to the Sonic Symphony last summer. But yeah, not cheap to get the stuff out of
Yeah.
Japan. It's overpriced on eBay.
Yeah, I literally showed my parents. They're like, "Is there something you want?" I'm like, "Actually, there is." And then my parents did not question it at all because they know I'm into it. They're like, "Okay."
Yes.
And then my mom's like, isn't it in like an anime store where we live?" I said, "No, this is Japan only." I told my mom. And she's
Only.
like, "Oh, yeah, like that's the only thing I don't like. It's like unless if you're traveling to that country, you could probably get it there without having to pay the shipping, you know."
Exactly.
But yeah, that's that's why I hate region specific. Like, it's kind of like we want that stuff. It's like,
Yeah. Well, even in the 90s, there was some stuff in Japan that we never got our hands on. Even in Sydney, in Australia, there was exclusive merch over there. And it was kind of a weird situation because then they were doing like a mix of like, there was Princess Sally stuff with Sonic and, very interesting era. Kind of, because in Australia, they were just kind of blurring between Sonic of Japan and then the American stuff. Pretty wild.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Here is my next question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Which Sonic game's music is your favorite and why?
You're hitting all the hard ones tonight, aren't you?
Buckle up.
For me personally, I believe it would have to be Sonic 2 for the Genesis because those types of high notes and low musical notes, they really get you engaged in the game. And then at the end where you see Sonic or Tails, break away from the Death Egg, just that music alone just kind of grabs my attention. Like, what's going to happen next? Is Tails going to save the day? Is he going to save Sonic, or is Sonic going to save Tails? And you kind of see this, like, this little slideshow, this montage of, they're going to go up there to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
And they, the music just follows it. And then you're just so happy when everything comes together in the end. It feels like an ending that you're just like, oh my God, I'm so happy this all came out and worked together. And just like that music to me is very special. And Sora is actually researched on the ending song of Sonic 2. And it actually was an actual song by two people who were basically in love. And
yeah,
it really spoke to me, and I'm just like, was their original intention, supposed to be like Tails was supposed to be more than just a friend, in the end, because this was a very romantic song. But I guess in a way they just said, look, it's a very romantic ending. They came together in the end and they saved the day. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Leave it to your own discretion on what you think Sega was originally going for. But I think Sora's going to say something about it.
Well, I will add that a lot of people thought Tails was a girl, and
yes,
maybe
I think so.
That played into it. And just to touch on that, sweet, sweet, sweet. It's dreams come true. It was husband and wife, right? That made this song, and they made it for to use for Sonic 2, and I had no idea at the time as a kid listening to that music because I was always I wasn't a big listener of like American music, but anything in like video games, especially Sonic, like really grabbed me. But I'll back to the point. That song, I forget their names. That the people that wrote it. But yeah, it was a husband and wife, and it is a very romantic song. And I believe one of the lyrics is, we lay like lovers in a warm embrace. Your kisses thrill me like no one before. and that's like, dang, sign me up. But but I digress.
It's beautiful.
But I appreciate Trixie bringing that up, because that is like my favorite music in the 16-bit era.
Yeah.
It is beautiful. It is catching. Gives me goosebumps to this day. It's beautiful. Sonic 2 has some of the best soundtrack that I've heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic 3 and Knuckles, like, and it's not even like a matter of it being on 16-bit that even matters. Like, there's updated versions, and they're all bangers.
I agree.
You know, and it's just so immense. You know, so as far as like classic era, that's, to be fair, I always have to be like, all right, well, the classic era, you know, the OG, you know, 1, 2, and 3, but man, Sonic 2 with its ending song, and then Sonic 3, just staples of my childhood, right? Without a doubt. I'm on the sound test of these games, listening to it. I didn't have a CD player, you know, but I had a Sega Genesis with stereo out, and I could listen to that music and just enjoy it. And then if we go into the modern era, my first modern era game was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle. So Escape from the City, my jam. And yes, Live and Learn is there too. I love that, of course, but you know, there's no doubt that Escape from the City is one of my most favorite Sonic songs of all time, especially the classic version that incorporates Endless Mine into the melody in the middle section of that song. Like, chef's kiss, like, beautiful. And then really, you know, there's all these songs across the whole spectrum of the history of the franchise that are just amazing. You know, shout out to Sky Sanctuary, or Sky Road from Sonic Lost World. You know, there's just so many I could mention, but you know, but Shino, take it away.
Classic era soundtracks, they're all amazing. Love them all to death, especially Sonic 1, 2, and 3 especially stick out for me. Those two are very, very, very special to me, and much like Trixie and Sora, Sweet Dreams is definitely one of my absolute favorite songs of all time. But I do enjoy the Sonic Spinball soundtrack, even though some of it is an ear piercer. I do enjoy the jams. I really love Sonic CD's music, especially the Japanese soundtrack. Sonic Boom is one of my favorites. Now, I didn't get to play them as a kid, but I really did love the music from Sonic R, especially Can You Feel the Sunshine? Does it brighten up your day? I love it. It's such a beautiful song.
Do it again.
And don't get me you get me flustered. Stop. But I love but yeah, I love the classic era stuff. I love that like that 90s vibe. I definitely love the soundtracks for Sonic Adventure 1 and 2. I mean, Sonic Unleashed, some of those songs help put me to sleep at night, and I love it. They're just such beautiful, beautiful songs. As far as like the modern era of music, probably Break Through It All on Sonic Frontiers really has a special meaning to me. It's such a strong and powerful song, really.
Oh yeah.
Really great.
Yeah, like Frontiers, like vocal songs just really go hard, and you never thought they go harder than they usually do.
Agree.
Like it, but that's great that you guys love the classic music, you know, because I know majority, you know, ever since Frontiers, most people are like, oh yeah, those songs are bangers. Like,
Well, and totally are, you know, but you know, it's a different genre altogether comparatively to anything Sonic has ever had before, you know, in a certain way. You know, yeah, 50-50. I mean, there's other songs that kind of invoke the same thing, but those songs from Frontiers, like, yeah, go hard, and they're beautiful. I love them. That was all I listened to for months when that soundtrack came out, you know. But yeah, no, I agree.
Okay, I see a question in the chat by Hannah. Question for Team Starlight. What inspired you to join the Sonic community? Ooh.
With the community in general?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's a good question. For me, like, funny enough, I've always been a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, but I never really gotten close to anybody like as a friend in the Sonic community until around 2019 when I became Shino. Like, I mean, I've followed some accounts, like, I've been a fan of Emu Emmy for a while, and I've watched a couple others, but I never really got deeply involved with the Sonic community because during those years I was at a different place in my life. Of course, still a huge Sonic fan, but definitely a different place. But it wasn't until 2019 when I really started to jump in and get to meet people, and it's had its ups and it's had its downs. But I'll tell you what, I've been having a lot more ups and downs with it, and I don't know. It's just like I wanted to make friends with people who love Sonic the Hedgehog and just obsess over Sonic with them and talk about like our favorite characters, our favorite songs, our favorite games, our favorite ships, whether it's OC shit, OC canon, not canon, whatever. Who cares? Like, have fun with it and do what you love. Like, and of course, obviously talk music because I love music and I love singing, Sonic music. I don't know. I just wanted to find people, and I did. And what do you know? 2 of them are my best friends, and they're standing right next to me.
Heyo. Trixie, take it.
Oh, Trixie said they'll be right back. So.
Oh goodness, they do look like they powered down. Okay, well then, I thought she might be trying to do a jump scare on me. Okay, so how I got into the Sonic community, well, I mean, I think it's a sense of just friendship and wanting to be a part of something, that, I like I mentioned, I think earlier at one point, I've always been a Sonic fan and, played all the games and been a part of it, but I never went and seeked out people within the community. And I regret that, because I think I missed out on a lot of like, because the Sonic community is some of the most creative people I've ever met, and supportive and loving and caring. So I think it's like when I realized it goes back to like my origins as a VTuber, like, I was trying to be a streamer, wasn't working out because, I didn't feel like I don't think I was able to present myself the way I wanted to. And I think a lot of VTubers share that. That's why they use VTuber models, and it's more fun.
I agree.
And so on. Yeah, it definitely is. And so, once I discovered that that's the route that I wanted to go, I realized, well, why the heck am I not doing it in the Sonic community? Like, look at all this. And then lo and behold, I discover other Sonic VTubers. There was only a handful at the time. Still, I think there's the better part of a dozen of us.
Mhm.
Truly a dozen VTuber Sonic actively streaming Sonic VTubers out there. And most of us are all friends that, we hang out, and, there is a sense of community around that, little niche, within the VTuber community. And a lot of people are like, well, if I do a Sonic VTuber, am I going to reach the audience that I want? Well, I mean, it depends on what kind of audience you're looking for. Ultimately, I'm not out to find one specific audience. I try to appeal to every person I can. Exactly right. And I don't think me as a Sonic OC has hindered that ability. Funny story. I tried to be a human VTuber at one point during my journey as Sora the Hedgehog, and people did not take to it. People actually missed me as my normal self, so to speak. And I was like, you know what? I get it. Okay, I need to circle back and just stay true to who I was online, and who what everybody was loving about me in the first place was my Sonic Mobian form. And And look, at the end of the day, I stream on Twitch and Twitter, and the audiences that I have found are go beyond Sonic. I'll tell you that much. So, and I think that's wonderful because, you know, I was afraid of being a, you know, presenting, you know, feminine, but no, people don't seem to care. They're like, cool, you're a hedgehog, let's go. Oh, you're playing games, you're okay, wow. What you just said, that's kind of weird, but all right, I'm on board, you know. That's what I think most of the people they see me, they're like, well, that was weird, okay, let's get some more. You know. Oh shoot. And then Trixie just booted back up, so I will end it with that. And Trixie, welcome back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's your turn, take it away.
Can I know what the question was again?
Oh yes.
How'd you get
Go ahead.
How'd you get into the Sonic community?
Didn't I already answer that?
Did you?
Well, you answered how you got into Sonic the Hedgehog, but how did you get into the community? Like, you know, start finding Sonic friends like us.
Oh, okay. I just basically reached out to a few friends who are VTubing as well. And I kind of got started there. At first, I wasn't really like posing up as a Mobian VTuber at the time. I was just a regular humanoid version, and then I kept getting more friends who were Mobian VTubers, and they're like, "Why don't we see what you look like as a Mobian VTuber?" And I started getting more involved in Sonic. I'm like, I haven't been involved in Sonic in like years, but okay, I'll try it out. And pretty soon, I started finding my love for meeting up with other people who like Sonic. And the rest kind of folded into what it is today, and that started about, I want to say, 4 years ago. So yeah, that's how I got started getting involved with the community.
How time flies.
So,
Yeah, time just flies by, and then when you look back at like all that you've done to now, you're just like, whoa, I did all of that within a span of those amount of years.
Yep.
It's crazy, you know. Yeah, like I know when I got involved with the Sonic community, it was more because of Sonic Revolution. Like I was just like into it, but I didn't really have that many like IRL friends that were into it, so it was very hard to connect with people because I usually had to talk about anime because that's where I hung out more with anime people. And then when I talk about Sonic, they're just like they just kind of changed the subject. So it's like, yeah, it was kind of definitely hard, but because of Sonic Revolution, when I first attended my first in-person event for that, that's when I started connecting with people, and then now I'm actually a staff member for Sonic Revolution convention itself.
Heck yeah.
What an honor, right? You're probably very excited.
Yeah, like this is going to be like in April of this year. It's going to be my 3rd year as a graphic designer. I'm like, I post stuff on their socials and create their stuff. But yeah. Ooh, okay. I see question. Okay. I see a question by Sparks Echidna. Team Starlight.
Sparky.
Yeah.
What are your biggest dreams?
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh boy, it's getting hot in here. Oh boy.
Who wants to start?
I'm staring at the bunny.
you always let me start. You guys start first, and then we'll get to me.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Oh, okay. Yeah. Watch out for Trixie. Jeebus.
Yes.
My biggest dreams. Well, I would say that, quite honestly, I'm living one of my biggest dreams right now. I'm being an entertainer. I'm being an entertainer. I have an audience. I'm singing for people. I'm entertaining people. I'm making people laugh. I'm making people smile. So I think it's very safe to say I'm living one of my dreams right now as we speak, and it has been an amazing ride so far, and I love every minute of it. now do I have now? But now that I'm living a dream, I want to reach higher goals within that dream. You know, I want to make more friends. I want to grow my channel, my community. I want to, and it's something I'm working on right now. But a dream that I've always had ever since I was younger. I want to make an album, a music album. I have a song on the way, which is going to be released as a single, almost done. I'm planning on releasing an album because, you know, I'm a big fan of music, Michael Jackson, Prince, guys like that. But I've always wanted to release a music album, and so that is a dream. I want to, you know, go to more Sonic conventions and do Q&As and meetups with fans, and like that's a dream. If there's a personal dream, like just for me, like something fun to do, I want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan so bad. I want to see Tokyo. I want to go to Kyoto. I want to go to Akihabara. I want to engulf myself in, you know, and of course, you know, yes, the shopping, the anime, the games, and all that. Of course, that's all there. The music, I love J-pop music and anime opening and endings. I mean, of course, but I want to embrace the culture over there. I want to be deeply. I want to connect myself to it. I want to appreciate the nature that's over there, and I want to experience, you know, Japanese traditions. You know, tips of different types of food and the people and their cultures, and just you know, make good relationships over there. I would love to. I would love to do that.
Nice.
So, yeah, those are some of my dreams.
All right, who wants to go next?
You want to go, Trixie, or should I? We leave you the best for last. Yeah.
To tell you the truth, I can start.
Sure.
I don't really have a lot of set up dreams. I kind of have just ideas, and I want to say just reaching up for a better life today than I do from yesterday. So if I want to achieve something, I'm going to reach out and try and grab it if it's on my mind. But for future attaining things that I would like in the future, it's pretty similar to a lot of other people, you know, but I at least want to live every single day. Because I know some people are like, well, when I get to this, you know, age, I'm going to start living. When I get to this part in my life, you know, whether it's attaining a job or attaining a certain amount of people who are following me or subscribing to me, I'll be able to live more freely. I don't want to be like that. I want to live right now. And I've seen so many of my loved ones and so many of people I looked up to crumble and cry out that they never got to live the life they wanted to live. And it's like, why can't I just do that right now? And that's what I'm living for right now, is the present. And it's something I strive for every day. Did I enjoy my day? No. Why? Did I like my day? Yes. Why? So that's what I want my dreams to be, is to be right now.
And that's one of the things I love about you. You're the type of person who lives in the moment. It's very inspiring.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, my first immediate dream is that my dad will return and see what I've made of myself. They never came back home after that, after the storm decades ago. But on a more serious note, okay. I'm sorry. Everyone's like, "Is that real? Is it real? Is it real?"
Even I was starting to question that a little bit. I'm gonna be real with you.
It all happened after the storm. The storm of 94.
When the
Okay.
Fire Nation attacked.
In the Fire Nation attacked. Okay, my immediate dream is to be an influencer. I want to be able to go places, meet people, do things that touch and inspire a vast variety of people as much as possible. That's you know, I want to be able to do good with what I'm good at doing, and that's connecting and creating content for people. You know, like that's what I feel I strive at. I like being creative. I like being able to do things, and it's not always easy. You know, there's real life obstacles and hurdles that prevent me from doing XYZ. Like, you know, the last couple days I've been sick, you know, and I had to go to the emergency room. I'm okay. Everything's good, but it prevented me from being able to do things that were otherwise creative and whatnot. Oh well, you know, life happens, right? But we're here now, and we're doing good. We're in hopefully connecting with people right now that are taking our words and maybe going to apply them to their own lives, and maybe that makes a difference. Who knows? But that's my immediate dream, is that I want to be an influencer that makes a difference, you know. And I think the last year I've been able to take a lot of big steps towards that, and I have a lot to owe to my friends for partaking in that with me, you know, that are with me here now.
Can I say something on that dream?
Oh, of course.
You're already influencing people.
I'm
serious. You already are. You already are. You already are. You maybe you don't realize it, but you're kind of starting to live it now, Sora. And I think that as hard as you work and all the love and energy that you put into it, you know, you remind me of. It reminds me of like what I'm doing right now, and I think it's so admirable of you. And keep going. Reach high. Reach those stars.
Yep.
I'm with you and behind
really
you.
Sweet. That's really sweet. I appreciate it, you guys. Really, that means a lot to me. It makes me feel better, you know, about the choices and everything that I'm making. And you know, I mean, of course, I'm programmed to think like, no way, that's totally wrong. I'm not doing anything right. Oh man, I suck. But no,
look at what Spark said. Look at what Spark said in chat. You all inspire me.
Oh, you all inspire me, yo. That's really sweet. Well, you know, so thank you. I appreciate that, Shino. And I'll say on a personal note, just like Shino did, like, yeah, my dreams, I want to travel, go to certain places. Japan's definitely one of them. You know, but you know, I want to go other places and see the world. And you know, I want to meet so many people, whether it's in the industry or otherwise, and just feel fulfilled in having made a difference in some way, because I think that's what a lot of us want. A lot of us want to leave our mark in the history of the planet. Like, okay, when I'm not here, like, I'm not looking to be in a history book or anything, but I want some sort of like piece of me to remain.
Right.
You know, and you know, funny thing I'll say about that, you know, whether that means physical or digital, I mean, we're all living in an age where our digital footprint is going to endure and go beyond us. So in 100, 200 years, someone could be watching this video. They could be watching one of our video streams archived somewhere on the internet. They might search something that pulls up Team Starlight, and suddenly they're seeing us hundreds of years in the past, you know, and they're like probably thinking, wow, why weren't they using like a level 7, you know, virtual reality interface to just be their characters in real time? See what they used, a NVIDIA broadcast tracking system. What, with a webcam? And then they go like, Mom, what's a webcam?
What's a webcam?
What's a webcam? What's a webcam? I don't. Honey, do your virtual Mars homework. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So, yeah, there. But that's it. So just trying to make an impact. That's my dream.
Oh, that's very wonderful dreams.
You know, there's one more thing I want. I want Team Starlight to kind of be ambassadors for Sega a little bit. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Sega,
Mm.
I will do things for you. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Aw.
My services are yours. Just reach out to me.
Aw.
Sega.
All right. Unfortunately, we will have to end this Q&A, and I want to thank you, Team Starlight, Sora, Trixie, and Shino for taking time off your busy streaming schedule,
Wait.
because I know you guys
Aw.
stream.
That's us. I'm sorry,
Oh
and
my
you're
God,
Trixie
yes.
and you're Shino. Holy crap.
Yes.
Sora.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
It was an honor to be here. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for inviting us, and thank you to everybody in chat who is hanging out with us and getting to know us. And of course, we see a lot of familiar faces in there too who came and followed us
yeah.
over here. So
Oh
thank
yeah,
you.
we see you. We see you all.
Thank you guys so much for believing in us and being all a part of Team Starlight. And we're glad to share the journey with you.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Nice. All right, so I have the next stream, so I'm going to be announcing my next stream, which
Ooh.
is this coming Wednesday, March 19th at 6 p.m. PT, 9 p.m. ET is the next Lucky Charm podcast, episode 9, where I will be joined by Kevin and special community guest G, aka the Cartoon Hotspot, to discuss the infamous love square in Miraculous Ladybug.
Oh
So-
my.
So be sure to tune into that, and we're gonna be discussing our thoughts on each of the Love Square ships, and it's with the same two people, which is crazy. But yeah, and I also have an upcoming next episode of Gotta Spotlight with Liaserenityrose next Sunday on March 23 at 3 p.m. PT, 6 p.m. ET, which of course I will be joined by Infectious Pink as we do a Q&A with the lead director and writer of the upcoming Sonic and the Dragon's Path Sonic fan game. So
Whoa.
So be sure to tune into that, and of course, be on the lookout on my socials for Serenity Spring Festival. I'm currently planning that. I'm slowly getting everything together, but you guys will not want to miss these announcements. And of course, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on that bell notifications for upcoming live streams and video content. So this is Leah signing off. Bye everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.